Shalom, my Israelite brothers and sisters. So first of all praises to our Elohim and to his only begotten son, Yahushua HaMashiach. Now I want to pose a very interesting challenge to you all, to all my beautiful Hebrew Israelite subscribers. Now this challenge is not to put anyone on blast or anything like that. So I don't want you to take this as a threat, but take it as a learning tool for edification purposes. Now, I guaranteed you, brothers and sisters, you're not going to see this challenge nowhere else on YouTube or anywhere else. So what I want to challenge you with is this. Now, there are many people, our people who are coming online or making videos, what have you, are predicting supposedly what's supposed to happen in 2019. And the majority of it is with our captivity ending, supposedly. Now, that's what people are saying. Now, this is what I want to do. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I want you to get a pen and write these questions down, because I'm going to ask you to I want you to give me your feedback based upon scriptures and facts, no opinions. All right. It's easy to give your opinions, but I want to hear what you got to say about this. I want to hear your whole argument and what you believe to be true. Because for some reason, many of our people seem to think they have the answers to this whole 400-year doctrine that's been floating around. All right, let's get to it. Question number 1. What is supposed to happen in 2019 according to you all? All right, again, this is not to put anyone on blast, but for edification purposes. I want you to tell me your argument for believing whatever you believe is going to happen in 2019. All right, question number 2, the 400 years. So where are you getting your 400 years from? Are you getting it from Egypt and comparing it with America? Or are you getting it from America and comparing it with Egypt? Now, let me throw a wrench in this, because if you really study the history of our people being in bondage in Egypt, it's not even close to 400 years. And if you study our people, if you study America, the history of America, America is not even 300 years old. But don't worry, because the next question is going to kind of be a interlude to this one, so you have a better understanding where I'm coming from. Now, I want you to be minded that from what I've gathered, this whole 400-year doctrine came out from a heathen. Now, that's from what I've gathered so far. But hey, I want to see what your thoughts is on this. I want to see your argument along with scriptures to back up your arguments. All right, so that's all I'm asking. Now, this is an honest request, and there's nothing wrong with discussing things like this, because we need to nip everything in the bud. The Most High wants us to be able to discern and gain knowledge, brothers and sisters. We can't just go off of just rumors of what's floating out there. You got to be able to prove without a shadow of a doubt. If you believe that whatever captivity is going to end in 2019 or whatever you believe, you got to be able to prove it and back it up from scriptures. All right, let's continue. Question number 3, the 1619 to 2019, which is technically 400 years if you do the math. Now, this is the challenge I got for you. Make sure you write this down. Now, if slavery started in 1619, where's your proof to back that up? Because technically, I can prove to you historically that the colonizers were bringing slaves over to the Americas in the early 1500s. So you got to show me where you're getting this date from. What makes you believe that this is the marking point, 1619 to 2019? Is it because Trump told you so? Is it because Trump signed that, what you call that, HR 1242? So did Trump give you the authority to say, hey, okay, 1619, since I signed this, then that means that this is the starting point, 1619 to 2019. What is your reasoning for that, backed up with scriptures or any kind of historical evidences? Because like I said, I can prove to you historically that the colonizers were bringing slaves over here. And I'm talking about our people, black slaves over here prior to 1619. All right, Zion, here's the really big one that everybody is talking about. Question number 4, the end of our captivity. Now, notice I got question marks by it. Of course, a lot of people are saying that it's going to happen in 2019. Now, get your pens ready, because this is the question I'm going to challenge you with. Now, if our captivity is going to end in 2019, like most of you are claiming it's going to be, what does that all entail? All right. Does it mean that racism is going to stop towards our people? Does it mean that discrimination is going to stop in 2019 of our people? Does that mean that our brothers and sisters are not going to be shot down in the streets by these police officers? Does that mean that we're going to get reparations? All right, continue writing. Does that mean that we're going to be delivered from our enemies? Does that mean the heathens are going to all of a sudden just acknowledge us as the true people of the Most High and give us all our land back? You all tell me, because, you know, I hear a lot of people say this, our captivity is going to end, our captivity is going to end, but not one Israelite has ever detailed what that means. And I've seen the videos, I've seen people make videos about this, comments, but nobody has ever entailed what does the end of our captivity really means. Now, this is what I'm going to do, because I'm going to, once you do your comments and everything, and I'm going to read through all of them, and I'm going to come back and do a follow-up video. All right. And I'm going to show you how we must be very cautious of the doctrines that we push, because 2019, just like any other year, but when you put all these expectations on this particular year without evidence or scriptures to back it up, you are setting yourself up for deception. And I'm going to show you why a lot of our people are going to end up being deceived by this. And that's going to be in the follow-up video. Now, the Bible says that even the very elect shall be deceived. Now, who are the elect, saints? That is, and it's not talking about the heathen nations. It's talking about his chosen people. The elect shall be deceived. This is why we have to take every ounce of thing we hear, and we have to test it by the Spirit and test it by the scriptures. So again, this is not to bash anyone. This is for edification purposes, because this is going to be your time to shine, brothers and sisters. This is going to be your time to state your arguments and why you believe what you believe. If you believe that captivity is going to end, then give me a playlist. Give me something that entails what that means, because none of you have done that. I've never seen anybody do that yet. But it's always opinions. Oh, I think this, I think that. Okay, got it. What is your reasoning? What are the facts for your argument? Where are your scriptures for your argument? Because all you're doing is getting people's hopes up. And then when the time comes and goes, people are going to be looking crazy. Well, I thought this was supposed to happen. No, because you trusted in some man and what the heathens had conjured up. You know, Jeremiah 10:9 says, learn not the way of the heathens. But for some reason, we're not happy unless some heathen is telling us what we need to believe or do. All right, so I believe this is the 5th question. Yeah, that's right, the 5th question. So why do you think America only is Babylon? Because I hear many of our people say that only America is Babylon. And why do you think that? Because this whole 400-year thing is based upon this, actually, what people are trying to predict. So I want to hear your argument behind this, because last time I checked, America came out of Europe. So if you really want to call something Babylon, you might want to study the Vatican. You might want to study these other nations. All right? Because last time I checked, Babylon is worldwide. And again, America is not even that old. You know, I lived in Europe for a couple of years, and I've seen castles that was twice as old as America, still standing until this very day. So we just got to be rational. We got to think. We got to use our heads, brothers and sisters. You know, and many of our people have become spiritually lazy. We are living in a time of Laodicea. We're living in a time of spiritual laziness, and we really got to dig and search the scriptures and stop just depending on people telling us because it sounds good. Do the research for yourself. All right, Zion. So here's your homework. This is what I really want you to do. And if Yah presses upon your heart, the Ruach presses upon your heart, I want you to take all those questions that you wrote down and come up with a good argument and with scriptures backed up. Now, I don't want your opinions. Now, if you want to give your opinions, that's fine. I'll look at them too. But I'm looking for facts. I'm looking for why you believe in all the questions that we just went over. Because again, I hear many people always give their opinions about captivity ending in 2019, but no one can even quote or say what that entails. All right, so that's what I want to get to the bottom of. And then I'm going to come back with a follow-up video. And I'm going to use, and so don't be afraid, Zion, to say what you got to say, because I'm going to use a lot of your comments. Again, this is not going to be to bash anyone. I'm going to use a lot of your comments, and I'm going to compare them with scriptures. If it seems like it makes sense, then we'll go with it. You know, if not, then, you know, there's room for growth, and we all are still learning in this walk. So I'm going to give you, let's say, I'm going to come back with the follow-up video. I'll say maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I'll come back. That'll give you all enough time to really get your thoughts together, things like that. You may need a week to prepare, what have you. So, but I'm very interested. I'm really looking forward to seeing your comments on this, and I want to see what your arguments are. So just go to the video, those questions, make sure you really digest everything we just talked about. Okay, so you can come back with a good argument, because I think the Most High wants us to truly understand, and the Most High wants us to test the spirits, brothers and sisters. And we can't just take any doctrine that's floating out there and just go with it. We got to test it, and we got to compare it with scriptures, because I guaranteed you many of our people in 2019 are going to be deceived. And a lot of our people, unfortunately, who claim that they're Israelites are going to leave the faith. I'm just keeping it real with you, Zion. I'm not trying to hold back any punches or anything like that. I'm just keeping it straight up real with you. Because this walk are for those who are going to worship the Father in truth and in spirit, not some doctrines that are floating around. So with that being said, I'm going to say shalom. I'll leave you with Revelation 14:12. And I'll see you, if Yah's willing, I'll see you within 2 to 3 weeks, brothers and sisters.